convention. Thou is enlightened. Yes. Recognizing the object as thou. Thou means in contrast to subject. Its existence is not in contrast to anything. An object doesn't exist at all in contrast to another object or in relation to another object or with affinity with another object. It has no relationship with anything. Every object stands in contrast to the subject. There is only a viveka. There is only a distinction between the subject and the object. There is a contrast between the subject and the object. If you see this contrast, the contrast is not between the object and object, nor there is an affinity between subject and object. There is a contrast. It is a contrasting affinity, if you want to, if you like the word affinity. Ramana enjoyed great affinity with Rama, in contrast. Therefore, if you look at the objects, the conventional, we always think, it is this. It is a convention. It is absolutely ignorance. The moment you say the universe exists only in contrast to me, that's enlightenment. That's a great. That's why it's not easy for an ordinary man to appreciate that the universe is Yushmat Pratyaya. And Bhagavan begins his Sutra Bhashya with Yushmat. Just to tease, just to test how much is this society prepared for Vedanta. If you can't appreciate the object even as Yushmat Pratyaya Vishaya, that the object has no relationship with another object. Definitely not a correlation. An object stands in contrast to the subject. The dream stands in contrast to the dream. The thought stands in contrast to the thinker. Therefore, between everything that is subject and everything that is object, the relationship is one of virodha, contrast. Vailakshanya. It is a vailakshanya. The moment you see that the contrast is between the subject and the object, then that is viveka. That is viveka. That is great. If there is contrast between the subject and the world, the object, there is contrast between the subject, the conscious being, and the body. There is contrast between the subject and the mind. There is contrast between one's existence and everything. Seeing this contrast is viveka. And it peaks, this contrast, the understanding this contrast peaks in understanding really the subject as Brahma, Mahavakya. In Mahavakya it peaks. In Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya it is still a travel. When you see the Atma as having Anvaya and Anatma having Vyatireka, it is still a travel. It is still Vichara. But it culminates in understanding that the subject is Satyam. In contrast to the whole universe, Mithya. Tatparyam being oneness. Tatparyam being oneness. Until it peaks, it looks like two. Until the Viveka peaks. Because in Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya, I am doing one kind of Viveka, Vailakshanya. In the in understanding Mahavakya, we are doing another kind of Vailakshanya. Satyamithya Vailakshanya. Karana Karya Vailakshanya. Source creation Vailakshanya. Chijjada Vailakshanya. Srishti, Karana Srishti Vailakshanya. Yes. The Viveka, the Vailakshanyam between Atma and Anatma peaks in Satyamitya Viveka. Therefore, there is no difference between Atma and Anatma Viveka, Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya and Mahavakya, between Mahavakya. That's why Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya is an Anga Mahavakya. An Anga. There is Anga, Angi, Bhava. Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya is Anga. It's a part. A part of Mahavakya. It is something that prepares you for Mahavakya. It is not something different from. That means Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya peaks in Mahavakya. It peaks, yes, it peaks. Like sleepiness peaks in sleep. It peaks. Like the sickness peaks in the death. The fatigue peaks in oneness. Sleep. Everything in a soul peaks. Duryodhana peaked in self-destruction. Yes. Any adharma peaks in self-destruction. That's called peaking. Dharma peaks in self-blessing. All good deeds peak in self-blessing. All bad deeds peak in self-destruction. Viveka peaks in oneness. Dharma peaks in relative happiness, self-blessing. Atmanugraha. Dharma peaks in blessedness. Adharma peaks in self-destruction. That is why Duryodhana peaked in self-destruction. ये तो होना ही है. Everything peaks. If you go on, being indifferent to your own wife, and one day it is going to peak in talaq. Yes. That is why before things peak, you better sudharo. You understand? Sudhar jao कहते हैं ना? पहले सुधर जाओ, बेटा सुधर जाओ कहते हैं ना? Yeah. Why? Because once it peaks, then you get into trouble. Vedanta Advaita peaks in great anugraha, a great self-enlightenment. Pleasures peak in sickness. See? Pleasures peak in sickness. So how can pleasures peak? If you go on eating in every restaurant for your pleasure, it is going to peak in sickness. Never eat in restaurants, I am telling you. Never. And if you eat in restaurants, at least do one thing, follow my advice. Carry the plate from your house. अपना चम्मच अपने पास रखो, अपना ग्लास अपने पास रखो, प्लेट, चम्मच, कटोरी तब ले जाओ उस रेस्टोरेंट और उनको बोलो भैया जब देना. Yes, because their plates are never clean. What is cooked is all right. The bacteria are gone. But what about the plate? Do you think that people are so honest? These machines and all that, who should I eat? Never. Sometimes I stop at Roorkee and have my lunch. Sometimes. They give me plate. I carry my glass and spoon, everything. And they give me plate. I take the plate also, but they keep the plate. Then I said, it looks clean, but then I take it to the bathroom and then wash it with my own hand. And then I use my upper cloth to wipe it properly. Then I am comfortable. Yes, then afterwards जो भी खाओ, चावल खाओ, रोटी खाओ, दाल खाओ, because it's all cooked. That's not, food is not a problem. Plates are the problem. And that chamal they give, how many mouths it went and came out. When I think of that part, मुझे तो खाना भूख खत्म हो जाती है. That is why the best thing is to eat it with your hand. Water also, money that you can always ask for some, you can your water also, what is there? Otherwise you can ask, water these days is, India it has improved. Everywhere there is RO. The people have become conscious of water. Nobody drinks tap water. So, but then plate is the villain. Plate is the villain. My God. Greasy. That's why I carry my plate, my spoon, my glass. Cup I don't have. Katoya I put inside. So we there are plate. So if a person goes on eating in restaurants, and especially when you are fired with the desire for sense pleasure, the pleasure of eating, then you don't care for the plate. परमात्मा भी नहीं करेंगे. खाएंगे, बैठेंगे, खाने लगेंगे. Because you are in a hurry to enjoy. Whenever you are in a hurry to enjoy the pleasure, then you break so many hygienic rules. When you break the rules of hygiene, you are going to fall sick. So keeping in view all these details, I am saying, pleasures ultimately peak in sickness. Sense pleasures peak, desires peak in sickness. Little discipline keeps you going. Discipline is important. Even brahmacharya. These grihasthas should not be all the time thinking about flesh. It's very dangerous. Because readily available flesh, wife is there, husband is there, anytime is available. And therefore you go on enjoying the flesh. And it just drains you out. When it drains you out, it peaks in sickness. Mostly, it's very dangerous. That is why brahmacharya is a big discipline. Yes, grihastha does not mean he has got a license to indulge in flesh. Just put us a restraint. Gives you blessing. Brahmacharya does not mean, see, brahmacharya is a value. For whom? Not for a brahmachari. For a grihastha. Yes. Why should a brahmachari have the mandate brahmachari? He is already brahmachari. इतना आसान नहीं है for a brahmachari to have a licentious indulgence in the flesh, unless the brahmachari has got a mataji around 24 hours. Generally, sadhus and sons and brahmacharis and vidyarthis, they live alone. Therefore, the mandate that brahmacharya is a value not for the brahmacharis. Brahmacharya is a value for grihasthas. Yes. So anyway, these are all there. Karma has to peak. Similarly, everyday exercises, daily exercises, peak in good health. Everyday mantra peaks in mental peace. Don't suspend any good thing in life. Always continue on a daily basis. Come what may. Continue japa on a daily basis. Don't expect a huge result. It's working on you. Your prayer is working on your mental quality. You don't have to unnecessarily anticipate some big result. Yesterday, when I prayed yesterday also, I prayed day before yesterday also, but abhi tak to kuch mila nahi. Aisa nahi. If you pray properly, if you pray for the result, it will take time. If you pray for mental purity, it is invisible. It is working on you. Don't worry. If you pray for mental inspiration, it is working on you. If you pray for mental purity, it is working on you. Like if you go to school every day, going to school is working on your understanding. It's working on you. Your classes are working on you. They work on you. Your exercises are working on you. Your Vedanta classes are working on you. Mami अभी भी गुस्सा आता है, कोई बात नहीं, क्या हो गया? Because you only show gussa only to those people who deserve your gussa. Yes, why not? Just because you become angry does not mean you are non-spiritual. It doesn't mean the Vedanta is not helping. These are all very, very simplistic people talk like this. Very simplistic thinking. Oh, you have been going to Vedanta, अभी भी आपको ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, क्यों नहीं? ऐसे Vedanta works on your understanding about yourself, not even on your daily needs. It can't cut down on your daily needs. No. It can't really make you live without air. It can't really make you live without food, etc. These are all daily needs. The basics cannot be touched for anybody. Even if a human being. Why? Because the body lives by the physical laws. Physical laws cannot be mended by Brahma Vidya, understand? Brahma Vidya cannot mend physical laws. The body abides by physical laws, biological laws. And therefore, if there is Brahma Vidya, if he is a Brahma Jnani, it doesn't mean he can live without breathing, he can live without eating, he can derive nourishment from the sunlight. These are all stories, please. And whoever narrates a story, you can ask him, did you see? No, somebody told. And you ask him, somebody told. These are all stories concocted and put in the air. They are all broadcast. There are rumors. There are stupid things. And people are also really like that, they just swallow. Therefore they know Indian society. Ganesh ji दूध पीने लग गया. And everybody. अरे गणेश जी दूध पीने लग गया तो पहले भी पीते होंगे. Why today? All of a sudden, why he is interested in दूध? Your Shraddha is alright, I accept. We give Naivedyam to Bhagavan. It comes back to me as prasadam. My offering, in my mind I am offering to Bhagavan. In my mind I think he has even eaten. That's all Shraddha, that's all attitude. That is all right. But literally that he is drinking. You know, whatever दूध you pour on Ganesha, it just disappears. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. That is why rumors are manufactured and triggered in the air so that the people can swallow. What somebody is benefiting. There is always some joker who is cleverer than others. Just one cell extra. If you have 100 cells, he has got 101 cells. That one cell extra. Then he can manipulate. That one cell can make you cleverer than others, and he can. This is problem. Therefore, even if the society has one cell less, let me tell you, but they can be sensitive. You don't need too many cells to be sensitive. That's also a big enlightenment. You don't need too many cells. Just be sensitive. But anyway, in that manner, just as Anmaya Vyatireka Nyaya and Mahavakya have Anga, Angibhava. Meaning Anmaya Vyatireka Nyaya is exactly Atmanatma Viveka, And the Mahavakya also is Atma Anatma Viveka. Nothing else. It is only Viveka. Because you can't do anything else but seeing the difference between the subject and the object. You and the rest. Aham and idam. Aham and tvam. Aham and idam means idam tvam. The great contrast. Aham and idam. Now, and therefore, even though we use the word idam for the universe, doesn't matter because conventionally we have been using the word aham and idam. Because even Upanishad says neti neti na idam na idam na idam. You see? Na idam na idam na idam. Na iti means na idam na idam na. Not this, not this, not this, not this. When I wait for Shaliniji's car also I keep doing this vichar. Not this. You know, if somebody car comes, this is not this. Not this. And ultimately comes this. Therefore, there also I am doing the same vichar. Not this, not this, not this. Therefore, even though, so even Upanishad doesn't mind using the word idam for the objects. But please understand, it is not idam. In actuality, it is Sushma Pratyaya. Bhashyakara's thinking is very, very great. He is fantastically pleased. He looks at the object as Sushma Pratyaya because he straight away begins with the great contrast between Atma and Atma. He conveys, in the very first word he conveys the immeasurable contrast between the subject and, because idam, there is no anubhava of idam, there is only anubhava of aham and tvam. Idam is an interpretation. This is an interpretation. That is an interpretation. But what is anubhava? Aham and tvam. Tvam means thought. We have direct. समझ में आ रहा है ना? Yes. Always look at the object because between the subject and the object there is nothing else. And an object doesn't stand related to another object. Please. Every object stands in contrast to this object. If you can appreciate this, then you have done a big job. Objects don't exist in relation to one another. Association is not an abiding phenomenon. Association is not a relation, just association. It's not like a correlation. If a horse dies, cow can continue. Between a cow and a horse there can be association, but not any relation. For every association also we conventionally call relationship, but otherwise it's not a relationship. It's not a relationship. But between the subject and the object, it is a relation. What is the relation? It is contrast. Total contrast. Like the sunlight and the object. It's a contrast. The cable can't light up the light, but the light lights up the cable. Therefore, if the more you see this contrast between the object and the subject, no object has got anything to do with another object. No jiva has anything to do with another jiva. Just for some time. Because every jiva is Atma and stands in contrast to the Up to this we have seen. Tatra ahankaram anrita rupameva. Haji?
Yushmat
pratyaya gocharo vibhavati buddhyadinam ekaikamapi anatmanam sambodhanena vishayikritya tvamityapi vyapadeshtum shakyate yataha. Because every detail, the body, between body and you there is nothing. So, body has also tvam. You, the body. When you are talking to somebody, say this body. But directly your anubhava of the body is always aham and tvam. That is the anubhava. When you do commentary upon the body, then you use the word this body, etc. But what is my anubhava? So in contrast to the body, I can refer to the body as tvam, I can refer to the senses as tvam, I can refer to the mind as tvam, I can refer to the intellect as tvam, I can refer to every detail of anatma as tvam. But Swamiji, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? इधर भी ठीक है. Tvam is a convention. Idam is a convention. Tvam is an enlightenment. It's a brilliance. The one who appreciates Tvam is aptest. He is brilliant. And one person went on arguing, no, सब लोग इधर में कहा है. You see, I am taking anubhava is always in the form of aham and tvam. Because an object doesn't exist in relation to another object at all. An object exists only in contrast to the seer, the subject. Aham and tvam. This is overview. Just reflect on this. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. You can ask the question. And if you get the answer, you can give me some dakshina. What do you think? Because if you get the free answer, it won't be understood. ये क्या बात? थोड़ा श्रद्धा भी दिखाना चाहिए. ऐसे मैं मजाक कर रहा हूँ. Don't take it seriously. अपने दिमाग में काम मत करो. ऐसे थोड़ा बहुत बोल. Even though it is true. Tatra ahankaram anrita rupameva. Ahankara is anrita rupa. See, what is ahankaram? It must be clear. I have been telling so. And every day you can do reflection. Ahankara is dehoham. It's a view that I am deha is part. It's not a feeling. It's a judgment. Even if it looks like feeling, it is a judgment. It's a correctable judgment. It's a correctable conclusion. It is anritam. Not only it is unlike the Atma, because aham is chetana, but the thought that I am deha is jadam. Aham is different from ahankara. Aham the Atma, but we can't say ahankara the Atma. Once we say ahankara, it has only one connotation. Dehoha. Dehoha is called ahankara. And that thought of equation with the body is called ahankara, which is there in contrast to the aham, the Atma. Even the word aham is a lakshanam for Atma. Even the word aham is not a visheshanam for Atma, which we have been seeing. Aham is only a lakshana. Lakshana means it points to the truth and itself doesn't become the part of it. Lakshyate anen. Ahankara has only one connotation. Aham means it is only, sometimes it is referred to as ahankara. Aham means it is interpreted as ahankara, and aham also is something that is the subject, the identity of being the subject in contrast to the object becomes a lakshanam, the aham, the jivatma, the aham becomes the lakshanam. What? Aham, the jivatma, is the lakshanam for the lakshanam. Therefore, every jivatma, when he says me, that feeling that me points to the me, the unlimited. The me, the jiva, points to the me, in which there is no word. There is no word. That is the lakshana. But this ahankara, that the thought that I am the body, is anrutam. It is anrutam. It is not only unlike the Atma, it is false. It is not only distinct from the self, it is distinct in terms of the Atma being the truth. The Ahankara is false, anrutam. Anrutam. We have been seeing, in the last class also we saw, to begin and end is something temporary. This anatma begins and ends, it's temporary. The waking state begins and ends, it is temporary. Even if it begins with time and ends with time, it is temporary. Because time also is temporary. And if it is something jadam, unlike me, then it is called vilakshana. It is something unlike me. It is unlike me. It is unlike me means it is anatma. It is temporary and it is anatma. It is unlike me. And it cannot exist without Atma, that makes it Anrutam. Anrutam means an error. Because Atma is not Deha, but it is mistaken to be Deha. That mistake is called Anrutam. Actually, Anrutam means only an error is Anrutam. The word Anrutam should be understood as a misjudgment. A wrong judgment, a correctable judgment is called anrutam. A correctable view is called anrutam. There cannot be a false thing, there can be only a false view. And therefore, ahankara, if at all you have to describe ahankara, it has to be anrutam. Because aham, the unlimited, is mistaken as they are the limited. Therefore, this tie between me, my existence, and the form, this tie is notional, is a something. I find myself with an equation. It is not a deliberate judgment. It is anadi adhyasa. Amazing. You cannot be deliberate about an error. You find yourself there. You can't be deliberate about the dream. You can't really begin the samsara deliberately. You can't wake up deliberately. You can get up from the bed deliberately after waking up, but transition from a state of sleep to the state of waking is not deliberate. When man takes birth, he is not deliberate. When he goes to sleep, it's not deliberate. You cannot deliberately go to sleep. You just cease to be deliberate and then you transcend the brain. When he is studying, he is supposed to be deliberate. There he is not deliberate. But when he is supposed to go to sleep, not deliberate, there he becomes Hey, don't be deliberate. Just give up your will. Just lie down and give up your will, you will fall asleep. क्लास में तो सोते थे, इधर कैसे नींद आएगा? जब सोना है तब सोते नहीं है, जब नहीं सोना है तब सोते हैं, जब सोना है तब नहीं सोते. Therefore, ahankara is one fights oneself with this. But the moment we use the word judgment, immediately it is interpreted as deliberate. It's not deliberate. It's not like a judge's judgment. It's a judgment in ignorance. I find myself, let me use the word, a view. I find myself with a view. I find myself with a feeling that I am the body. I find myself with a feeling. It's not a feeling that I can restrain. Raga, dveshas are other swabhavika feelings. That is different. I like an object, I can restrain it. My dislike for an object, I can restrain it. My anger can be restrained. These are called impulses. But devoham is not an impulse. It is adhyasa. It is not an impulse. It's not deliberate, but it does not mean it is an impulse. Presupposing a devoham, there are impulses. Yes. Impulses are just feelings. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. These are all impulses which you can restrain. If you restrain, it is good for you. If you don't restrain, it's not good for you. Because impulses can sap you out, can drain you out. All the time getting involved in anger, greed, shanta, aram se. Do your duty and come back home and aram se. Don't have vices. Don't have all those addictions. There are some good addictions also, but good addiction is an addiction. All addictions are bad. Like addiction for rasgulla. Unless there is a rasgulla, you can't have that. It is a good addiction. But then it is also addiction. Addiction is bad. Prasada buddhi is the best. So aata hi plate mein wahi prasada. Eat for your health. That's why you know one of the Upanishads says, Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. When your food is pure, ahara shuddhau. Ahar agar shuddhi hota hai, ahar ki shuddhi mein sattva shuddhi means antahkarana shuddhi. Sattva shuddhau dhruva smriti. When your antahkarana is something that is pure, your memory is something very clear. Meaning smriti means that smriti is interpreted by Bhashikar as you come to understand clearly what is to be done and what is not. What is right for you. Acha smriti aaya. Therefore, don't have all these addictions. Don't feed the body with all of Understand, all pleasures are only up to the throat. Even if you are eating the best fish, straight away brought from Bay of Bengal. Normally we are all vegetarians. Okay. Even if it is pinni coming from Amritsar. Straight from Amritsar comes the pinni. It's its deliciousness is only up to the palate. And once you develop, it goes. Yeah, therefore understand the secret of this pleasure. These pleasures are just so fleeting. That's why eat for your health. Don't eat all wrong things. Control impulses. But the feeling that I am the body is not an impulse. It is unruta. You can only control impulses and correct ahankara. They get falsified. You can be free from impulses only when you falsify their reason. That is ahankara. Ahankara is not controlled. Ahankara is correct. Impulses can be controlled. That's called self-control. Impulses can be controlled. Ahankara cannot be. This dehomam, this idea, the feeling that I am the body cannot be controlled. It has to be studied and ultimately corrected. Adhyasa has to be corrected. Therefore, if there is any vyakhyanam about the ahankara, if there is a description, it has to be anruta. It is false. It's an error. Ahankaram anruta rupameva satya swarupe. And it is imposed on what? In satya, the atma. Satya swarupe. Atmani adhyasya. In the satya swarupa, the atma adhyasya having imposed. We impose the idea that I am the body in myself. That means I am seeing a thought in myself that I am the body. Like I am seeing a wave in water. I am seeing the idea of the snake in the hole. Even though the snake is in retrospect, it is an error, but when it is not corrected, it looks like a fact. Similarly, this is also Dehomam looks like a fact, but Shastra sees it as just an error. I can't see it as an error to begin with. It is only when I study it along the lines of Vedanta, then I see that Dehomam is an error. That the Dehomam is an error is the Shruti's vision. Shastra Drishti. And what is the Shastra Drishti? Atma is not Deha. What is my Drishti? I am only Deha, nothing else. This is what is called the idea that I am the body is imposed upon the I, the Atma, which is not the body. That not the body is mistaken for the body. Satyadhyasya tamcha satyam atmanam anrute ahankare adhyasyati lokaha. This world imposes the ahankara in Atma and Atma in ahankara. Means what? I am nothing but ahankara and ahankara is nothing but me. And here I will give some vyakhyanam. My conscious identity is borrowed by the other thought, that idea. The thought that I am the body looks conscious. And the body throws its inertness upon the Atma. I say, I am Deha, I am inert. Deha is sentient. And what am I? I am inert. This is called, they share their qualities, they exchange them. This notional exchange of qualities between Atma and Deha is called Anyonya Adhyasa. It's a notional exchange. Vishayam Satyasyati Lokaha Satyamrita Satatva Viveka Bhava. This is Ashaka. does he do that? Why does one live on with the feeling that I am the body? Because he doesn't look at the distinction between Satya Amritayoho Viveka Abhava. There is only Viveka Abhava. Even Aviveka means what? Viveka Abhava. Ajnana means Jnana Abhava. Ajnana is not a thing lying there. That's all. I don't look at myself. I don't look at myself. That keeps me going as a jiva. I am a jiva because I don't look at myself. I can't even say I did not look at myself. I don't look at myself. Like I keep my eyes closed and say it is the dark. I am in the dark. Why? Because I don't open my eyes. Should be always present. I don't open. I am not opening. Open, then there is no darkness. Similarly, look at your existence correctly, then there is no avidya. And opening one's eyes to one's existence and registering one's nature is called a study. The whole years and years and years of looking at one's existence speaks in understanding the Atma is the Satyam and the whole Prapancha is Mithya. Jagat is Mithya. That is the, people say that is the ultimate truth. Say that is the ever-present truth. You come to understand it ultimately. The vichara ultimately makes you understand that Atma is the Satyam, not that is the ultimate truth. That alone is the truth from beginning to the end. You ultimately understand the truth is different from that is the ultimate. You ultimate because Atma vichara peaks in understanding the Atma as such. It begins with Advaya Vyatireka Nyaya and peaks in Mahavakya. See, I am using all different words because choicelessly peaks. Advaya Vyatireka Nyaya choicelessly peaks. Because it's the same thing, it is Viveka, it is Viveka. And therefore, what is ignorance? Not thinking, not looking at oneself, and looking at oneself wrongly. Not looking at oneself rightly and looking at oneself wrong. That's called avidya. But this avidya does not eclipse Atma. Avidya itself is illumined by the Atma. Like the wave cannot conceal water. Water, the truth, is dominant, is solely evident in and through the ocean. How can it be concealed? The error cannot conceal the fact. I may not understand the fact, but it cannot. When I say the fact is concealed, it should be generally understood that it's not understood by me. That ununderstoodness is what is called concealment. Not non-evidence. There is no non-evidence of the truth. But as long as I don't open my eyes to myself, that's called ununderstood state. Ununderstoodness is called concealment. Ununderstoodness is called concealment, not concealment, literal concealment. It's not right. Keep something in your system. Batao kya? How can, it's not evident. How can I tell you? Kept. थोड़ा बहुत लक्षण तो मालूम होते कैसा है. I can do it. But it's totally concealed. How can I guess? Maybe there is nothing. Our existence cannot be concealed by our thinking. Our thinking is lighted up by our existence. clouds, we think it conceals the sun. A cloud also cannot conceal the sun. A cloud really covers my eyes. Meaning, the very cloud is illumined in the light of the sun. The sun is ever evident. It is just that I am not able to understand. I am not able. I am not looking. I am not able to understand this fact. How can the sunlight be covered? Because in the light of the sunlight, a cloud is. I can't say there is no sun. Just because it comes behind the cloud, I can't conclude there is no sun. You can't question the evidence of the sun because it is the evidence of the sun that lights up even the cloud. Is prakar reflect upon this one great thing that our existence can never be concealed by anything. That is a vichara. This is called a vichara. Our existence can never be concealed by anything. Our existence is always solely, dominantly evident in and through all our thinking. I am there in all my thinking. I am there in all my perceptions. We are there in all our experiences. One thought is not there in another thought, but the thinker is there in all the thoughts. Subject cannot be excluded by the object. The subject is there in everything. It is this that is meant by the Shastra, Tat Srishtva Tadeva. God created that. The very source of the universe enters the universe. Means what? The source of the universe is there as the very seer of the universe. The source looks like the seer of. That is called an entry. God created the universe and entered the universe as the seer. He is the source and he is the seer of it. And himself is the karta, mukta, everything. The same seer becomes the jiva because there is nobody else. It is the same truth which has to play every role. As the seer, it is the truth that sees through the eyes. It is the truth that hears through the ears. Therefore, he himself stands as the seer, as the pramata, and himself is there as the jnata, and himself is there as the sakshi, and himself is there as the jagat karanam, himself is also there as nirvishesha. समझ गया ना? Therefore, there is nobody. You play this role, I play this role, I say but because he is Advitiya. He can't get, he can't hire some Punjabi girls or somebody, you play this role. You be the Sakshi and let her be the Pramata and you be the Jagat Karanam and I will be the Nirvishesha. Can Bhagavan say that? You be the Pramata and you be the Jnata and you be the Sakshi and you be the Jagat Karanam and I will be Now, the same nirvishesha looks Pramata, looks Jnata, looks Sakshi, looks Jagatkara. Taught Jagat, looks means taught Jagatkara. Taught, it is teaching. Jagatkaranatvam is a part of teaching. Taught Jagatkara. Taught Jagatkara. Underneath? Therefore, same truth is there in the form of a bird, in the form of a cow, in the form. Now you can't say you become the bird and I become human beings. Aisa nahi. And the same truth is there in the form of a pipilika, an ant. So if a tiger eats up a heron, there is no papa. Why? Because the killer is himself and the killed also is himself. And himself is neither killer. From another point of view, he neither kills nor killed. Therefore, where is the unfairness? There is the fairness, unfairness division is also within Adhyasa. Within Adhyasa there is a division of fair, good and bad, fairness or unfairness. बहुत बड़ा डीप है जी दिस ऑल. सत्यस्य तिलोका सत्यामृता सतत्व विवेक भावात् तयोश्च सत्यामृतयोः आत्मनः प्रत्यक्त्वं बोध्यत्वं च अहङ्कारे अहङ्कारस्य विक्रियावत्वं बोध्यत्वं च आत्मनि सर्वविक्रिया साक्षिणी अध्यस्य आम्वेदिता कर्ता भोक्ता चेति मृषाये भविमन्यते. The whole Vakya means, see, the Pratyaktva means I am the body. Even though body is a parak, it is felt as it is very intimate. The intimacy which belongs to the truth is imposed on the body, which is not intimate. It is parak, it is an objectified. The unobjectified is pratyakta. Therefore, the intimacy of the self and the conscious identity of the self is imposed upon the body. The body that is not intimate is taken as intimate. The body that is not conscious is taken as conscious. The Atma which is not the object is taken as the object. Thus there is exchange of qualities between the self and the body. A notional exchange. It's called this notional exchange of the qualities or the identity and the quality. The notional exchange of the identity is called Dharmiya Adhyasa. The notional exchange of the characteristics is called Dharma Adhyasa. You will follow? मैंने बहुत मेहनत करके बता रहा हूँ. The notional exchange. And also, when Atma lends its conscious identity to the body and its intimate identity to the body, and the body also looks conscious and body also looks very intimate. It is me. This is called Pratyaktam and Bhotritvam. And the body as a form keeps changing, and that change is taken as my change. So body is changing, I say, I am changing. Therefore, when body gives, it gives what it has taken. What it receives is the truth. And what it gives to the truth is a miserable nothing. This problem to hygiene. Body says, you give me your identity, I give you. You give me something and I give you something. The truth lends all its effulgence to it. And the body gives all its misery to it. Its limitation. Are you able to follow? This is a notional exchange. And then there is a feeling. The aham, the atma, the conscious being non-dual, looks like I am a conscious knower of. It's called aham vedita. The result of adhyasa is this. Aham vedita. I am aware of. Awareness absolute looks like I am aware of. Trichpatya. I am awareness becomes I am aware of. Karta. The akarta atma looks like karta, the doer. The silent being looks like a doing individual. Great loss. What ties man is that I am a karta, doer. But even if you say that Bhagavan is the doer, etc., it also means you are still a doer. Even if we ascribe doership to Bhagavan, it doesn't mean you become akarta. That is the realm of attitude. ये तो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, भगवान कर रहा है. This is our attitude. That is different. Don't get confused. मैंने आपको कुछ नहीं दिया, भगवान ने दिया. That is all attitude. But kartrutvam is self-error. I am the doer. I am the thinker. That is also doership. I am aware of. That is called doership. The fundamental doership is I am aware of. I am doing the job of being aware of. That is called kartrutva. I am doing the job of being aware of the thought. I am doing the job of hearing the sound, like this. Therefore, all the perceptions imply doership. All actions imply doership. All motions imply doership. And the doership is, even if you are a rich man, this very doership takes its toll on you. Kartrutva. Even if you have got 600 servants, but 600 servants together cannot pull the kartrutva out of you. You understand, you know? Kartrutva cannot be taken out by even 600 people. Even if they pull, sab taakat lagao, pull the kartrutva out. Therefore, with all these 600 servants, you will still be a karta. That's enough to make you miserable. That is the fairness of the truth. Because the fundamental halat of his jiva is the same, no matter he has how much money. That is the fundamental fairness. Even the richest man is subject to dukkha. That is the fairness. Like even the poorest man can smile sometimes. Sudama also had his own moments of smile. Even Krishna had his own moments of dukkha. They were rich, but he was in human form, so he is subject to dukkha. Why not? When Abhimanyu died, so he must have felt. All these Swamis and Avataras who teach Vedanta are not supposed to shed tears in front of others. Because ye log bhi shed tears. If they also shed tears, then unko janta hi kya hai? Therefore you have to hold back your tears. But sadness nobody is seeing. And you will feel sad inside. I'm sure he had his own moments of sadness. Therefore, kartrutvam is the fairness. Everybody suffers due to kartrutvam. Because in contrast to the truth which is absolute serenity, all our doorship is samsara, kartrutvam. Bhoktacha, even bhoktrutvam is kartrutvam. It's amazing. Even every rich pratyaya is kartrutva. Bhokta means enjoy. Even in enjoyership there is fatigue. In doership there is fatigue. In bhoktrutva also there is fatigue. Because in contrast to the truth, every thought is a... You must not contrast the thought to relative peace. You must contrast the thought to the absolute serenity. Like the deep sleep. Absolute serenity. That is the Swarupa. In contrast to the absolute serenity of the being, every thought is fatigue. Even relative peace is fatigue. Because relative peace means relative struggle. Relative peace means relative struggle. Partial peace means there is partial struggle. Devotion. Relative peace is necessary to correct the kartrutva. Relative peace does not mean really partial negation of kartrutva. Relative mental peace is necessary in order to correct the kartrutva. In order to study Vedanta and understand that we are not karta, we are only silently being. We have no job to do, we are only existence is. Everything else is error. Everything else is trap. Even deliberation is a trap. Will is a trap. Volition is a trap. Therefore, behind all the deliberations is dream. That means they are all trap. Like inside the dream, if you are deliberate, see that even the deliberate action that you are doing inside the dream is also trapped. But the dream is not done deliberately. Deliberations are trapped. Deliberateness is trapped. Will is trapped. Therefore, प्रत्येकत्वं भोक्तृत्वं च अहङ्कारे अहङ्कारस्य विक्रियावत्वं बोध्यत्वं च आत्मनि शक्र सर्वा विक्रिया साक्षिणी अध्यस्य अहं वेदिता कर्ता भोक्ता च इति मृषायेव अभिमन्यते. Man unnecessarily suffers thinking like this. मृषायेव अभिमन्यते, unnecessary thinking, falsely thinking. This thinking serves no purpose. Wrong thinking, what purpose does it serve? What purpose does it serve, wrong thinking? Does wrong thinking serve any purpose? Therefore, if man thinks wrongly, it is not for a purpose. Because there is a reason behind it. He has no praman. He has to listen to Veda. And independent of the exposure to pramana, he will think only as in aviveka. Like a person without eyes, he can only grope. With the eyes, he can figure out what is what. Without eyes, he can only grope. Similarly, without the Shastra Pramana, which are the eyes for the truth. Shastra means the eye, through which I can understand myself and truth. Without the Shastra, the Jiva remains, is only a groper. He is a groper. Even if he is intellectual, he is a groper. He is called an intellectual groper. Emotional groper. Rich groper. Poor groper. Handsome looking groper. Yeah, successful groper. But with the Shastra, he is a sage. This is another. Therefore, people unnecessarily means, falsely, to no purpose. Human beings to no purpose, they suffer, they go through avoidable suffering. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vadishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.